Okay, so we've got the first quarter moon in Virgo right now, and these are the cards that I pulled without the glare. Anyways, so I'm going to start with the Father of Swords, which is talking about the air element and our thoughts, our communication, and Father, also known as the King of Swords, is the active masculine energy, and it's knowing how to direct your thoughts, knowing how to direct your communication effectively, meaningfully, and being really forthright with what needs to be said and understanding when things don't need to be said and removing yourself from that situation. There's a lot of opportunities for us to be mitigating our energy via our thoughts, and it's like, what are we thinking about? What are we processing constantly? How can we do that more effectively? The Father of Swords is really asking us to be more effective with our thoughts and our communication so that we can better temper our energy and have more for ourselves to do the more meaningful things that we want to do, not the same drama and bullshit constantly. We are ready to grow out of that, hopefully. And that's reiterated in this message of Dusty Rose, which says, your love has aged. And so it's like this pinkish color, which alludes to like a crown chakra mixture with the root chakra. And that's really talking about like, we have grown in all that we have learned in our lifetimes, however long your lifetime has been, and your love ages continuously, meaning you have the opportunity to learn what's right for you, what's best for you, how you want to be loved and cherished, and how you don't want to be loved and cherished, and to operate with what you have learned as the basis for how you move forward and the choices that you make moving forward. And so Dusty Rose is saying, hey, you have an opportunity to move forward in a more beneficial way for your foundation and also for the collective. And so you have to age, you have to gain wisdom with your love. You have to not just keep repeating the same patterns, because what good does that do anybody? Then we have the Swan, which I feel like I've pulled before for the collective readings, but oopsies, Swan. And this is a card of the gracefulness, the movement between the air, the water, and the earth. So it's like being grounded, being emotionally fluid, being able to have a control and a grace about the way that we think about things and how we communicate things. The Swan wants all of that for us. Also is like a ferocious animal. If you have ever like been in the vicinity of a swan with its babies, you know that it will come after you, and it's scary because the bird is actually like up to your hips, and they have like sharp spines on their teeth that can cut you. So you really don't want to mess with them, and they know it and you know it. And so that's the energy that this animal is bringing, like this grace and this beauty, but also don't fuck with me. So how are you going to carry that energy? How are you going to blossom in the beautiful, confident being that doesn't take any shit? Think about it. And the last card is Unakite, which is a type of jasper. And so this card is about how we can, again, like, we're bringing things down to our root chakra, like how can we be grounded in a situation, but like going through it emotionally. So this is green and pink, so we're talking like heart chakra stuff and root chakra stuff. And this is about how we can ground our emotions, how we can move slowly through the situations that are coming up for us right now, and how we can proceed in a better way by being aware of where our emotions are pulling us. Because we have an emotion, then we have a thought, and then we have an emotion, and then we have a reaction. And if we are taking better control of our reactions and being aware that emotions will flood over us, and it's our job to flow with it and ride it, that's what I love about surfers and surfing and being with the ocean, because it takes a lot of dedication and understanding to do that safely. You have to be a part of the ocean safely. is not an easy task because it can change whenever it feels like. It can overpower you so easily. It can sweep you out to sea. There's so many things that can happen when you're dealing with ocean and like emotions. And so this card is just, how can we ground ourselves a little bit more? What is it that our physical bodies need when we're going through emotional trauma or trying to heal from emotional trauma, which at this point we all have. We all have emotional trauma. We live in a traumatic world of colonization and patriarchy and so on and so forth. And it's our job to take control of our own healing. Or you pass it on to the next generation and you hope that they can do it. So better that we try and take advantage of the fact that we're alive right now. We have an abundance of resources-ish, and the world isn't so hot yet that we can't live on it, you know? And if that is really coming by 2050, if we don't make any dramatic changes, what does that say for us right now? What dramatic changes are we making right now to help us not go extinct in 30 years? I mean, if we do, we do. At this point, I don't have a whole lot of hope left, but I want to for the kids. I want to, because they're out here. So really think about how you're maneuvering through the world right now, and how you're showing up for yourself in your mind and in your communication with others, how your love is growing and learning and gaining wisdom, how you are a graceful, beautiful being that cannot be fucked with, and how you're going to ground yourself through all of the emotional changes and the reactivity that is surrounding us and within us. So that's it for today. I'll see you next week.